Hello, welcome to the Golf Swing Weekly Fix. My name is Mark Crossfield again. We've got lots of swings coming at you from my apps, so plenty of swing fixes for you as always this week, and we've got a few questions of the week talking about lies of the clubs, those kind of things. We're also talking a little bit about setup position as well, so let's get stuck in. So let's start with a bit of a weak grip on the left hand, so gloved hand a little bit weak. Also would like to see your hands pushing more up towards your left leg, inside of your left leg. So weak grip, hands back. Then what we see is a very classic example of weak grip, hands back is going to make the ball go to the right. So we see a classic example here of no lower body movement in the downswing, all upper body, shoulders spinning to the left, legs staying pretty stationary, weight staying pretty stationary, flipping it straight, and then a token follow through at the end. So we're seeing classic anti-rightness in lots of these movements. This is a classic cause of the over-the-top downswing. So basically what happens is got a weak grip, hands back, which kind of double opens the club face, if you like. We need to get the hands up towards the left leg, seeing a good 2 to 2.5 knuckles on that left hand, rather you're probably only seeing one. Then we see top of the backswing, a position where your face is so open that the only way to hit the ball straight now is to start with the upper body, bring it over the top and try and flick it straight with this token finish at the end. Got to start feeling better setup position, hands towards the left leg, so inside of the left leg, 2 to 3 knuckles, so 2.5 knuckles is always good on the left hand. Then I want you to feel that you're making less of a shoulder turn on the backswing and a lot more of a drive with your hips on the way down. You've got to start getting your legs involved. It's very much a massive shoulder turn, then you can't move any further, hips are stuck, so then it's just a big whip with the shoulders to try and hit the ball, which just does not work. Well, you can see from the video you have to get in such an awkward flicky impact position to have any chance of hitting target. So I want you to start feeling better setup, hands forward, better grip, smaller shoulder turn on the way back, much less a shoulder turn on the backswing, and then downswing's got to be instigating much more from your hips, from your lower body legs upwards. So feel like on the downswing that you're driving your right knee across towards your left, into and before impact. Get that weight driving right into the back of the ball and get rid of this classic shoulder first, hips almost going backwards downswing, which will just create all manner of horrible golf shots. A very nice golf swing here, must be a very good player. The only thing I'd like to see you doing from these angles of this video you're sending to me is a fraction bit of early extension on the way down, so basically hips wanting to push this way out towards the ball, certainly right hip as you start your downswing, and right foot want to move towards the ball, which gets you a little squish through impact, which is obviously hard to see from this angle as well, but just pushing forward. So it's a classic early extension, which very good swing, you know, a good player must play some off the decent handicap. Thanks for sending the swing. A good thought for you to try and think about gaining a slightly more kind of held posture angle impact position, if you like, where you're not pushing towards the ball. So basically what's happened top of your backswing, it's just a slight tendency to want to push right knee forwards, right foot just heel comes up rather than coming up more in a forward manner. So rather than coming up this way, it's coming up towards the camera there, if you like, which is then pushing right butt cheek forwards, upper body forwards, just gets you a little bit stuck for impact. So you'll get a few kind of not so nice strikes because of it. I want you to think about starting your downswing by keeping your right butt cheek back. So rather than your left, think about your right. So what I mean by that, once you get to the top of your backswing, temptation for you is to drive your right leg, right butt cheek forwards. Try and feel that your start of your downswing is more of a right cheek, butt cheek moving back and down as you turn through, to try and help you keep this better spine angle through impact rather than getting this slightly squished position. Now it's a hard thought, but it's such an effective thought when I do this with players, certainly better players who want to improve their strikes and their kind of downswing positions. Really is thinking about the right rather than left. Lots of people early extension think about trying to spin the left back, and you can have some success with that, but if I spin my left hip back, it just brings my right hip way forwards. So think about top of your backswing, literally sitting down and back with your right butt cheek, and that feel your weight moving onto your left side and then turning through, just to get rid of that fraction early extension and help improve those strikes. So we're going to look at this one. If I just draw a line on your head here, watch as you make your backswing. A tendency to want to move that weight forwards as you start your downswing, so onto your left side. And then if you watch carefully how the right foot moves here, what we then see is a kind of panic from there and wanting to pull everything back. So we see the right foot coming up in this manner where the heel's behind the toe, excuse me, rather than seeing the right foot being pulled forward from this right hip going forwards. So we're seeing an interesting example of just slightly moving the weight not so well on the backswing, which then compromises the downswing. So we're seeing moving the weight, slightly big shoulder turn onto the left side, and then from there can't hit it from there, can't go forwards from there. So as you start your downswing, it's moving backwards to hit the ball. It's where my right hip starts peeling out to the right as I turn my hips. Hit the ball, often you'll be getting steeper with action, maybe hitting the ground first, and then after you've hit it, the toe can finish to look better. If you can just get the order of the way you turn your weight a little better, you'll find your strikes will improve no end. So what I want you to do is so that you keep your hips, keep them doing what they're doing, just keep them rotating. I want you to feel that you do less of a shoulder turn on the way back. So you do make slightly big shoulder turn, which just tilts you a bit over. So leaning back, like I talked about last week, onto my left side. So I want you to feel that you keep your hips, don't let them move the weight across on the backswing. Keep the hips turning, but just feel that your nose, your left eye, just turn slightly behind the ball. And I mean a fraction. Just slightly turn that weight onto that right side. Don't move it laterally, do it by rotating your shoulders, and feel like you're rotating your shoulders less as you do it, just to feel your weight loading a fraction more onto your right side. Then from there, feel free to push off that right foot and get through it, so get away from that right heel kicking back. You're not going to get rid of that right heel kicking back and that weight moving backwards into impact until you sort that backswing out, because it's the only way to hit the ball. If you move forwards, the only way to hit the ball successfully is to actually come back and then try and go forwards for it, which is what you're doing. So set yourself lesser shoulder turn on the way back, but just feel that you gently turn nose, left eye, just a fraction behind the ball, so you feel your weight just turn into your right side, not lateral. And then from there, really push off onto your left side and get that weight driving through. So question, great videos as always, Mark. Thank you very much. Mark, can you answer this for me? I'm using Burner 2.0 irons off the shelf and noticed that the heel of the club is getting more worn out than the rest of the club. Does this mean I'm needing a more flatter lie? Any help would be great. So he is saying basically that this part, the heel, is getting more worn out than the toe. So he is digging in with the heel in theory more than the toe. So there's a few reasons for this. One might be that your clubs don't sit right in the lie. So for instance, if I'm shorter with this club putting down by the ball, unless I put my hands higher, what happens is the heel sits into the ground more than the toe, and that could encourage me to get heel hitting first, which will tend to point the loft of the club to the left, and you're going to hit some funny swings to stop the loft of the club pointing left, so it'll affect your swing. The other thing you want to bear in mind, it might not be the length and the lie, which it probably sounds like it is. You've got to remember Burner 2.0s are longer, so they're always going to sit more upright because of that fact. You've got to remember that if you're swinging from funny angles, so too much in to out or too much out to in, that also can affect your lie. So if the heel is wearing out more than the toe, yes, that doesn't sound so good, that needs changing. I would advise going to a pro with no purchasing in mind, just say I want to get things checked, I don't want to buy anything, so don't get drawn into any kind of sales direction. Just say I want to check things, and to get them to check your lie with a decent camera system so they can see what you're doing with your swing as well, to make sure, is it the lie or is it the action that you're applying that's making you wear that heel out rather than the toe. If you are wearing the heel out rather than the toe, yes, that's not good and it needs checking. Get to a PGA pro who can help you and give you some answers of how to improve your golf simply by having the right equipment. So another question we've got, Mark, I see people having the club grip pointing left of the body at the start of the setup. And my local pro has said that it's best yet as I see that you have the grip pointing straight up. What should I do? So should I have the grip pointing left, or should we have the grip pointing straight up? Joel, right, interesting question. Well, I can't quite work out what you're saying from the video, but in my opinion, I would like to see the grip opposite the inside of your left leg. So your hands, top of the grip, bit you're holding, if I drop the club down, that hits the inside of my left leg. Now that is with a 6-iron, and what happens with that is you can see there's a bit of shaft lean with that, because that's how that club's designed. Now if I take a drive here and do the same, ball forward in my stance, hands also hitting the inside of my left leg, the club will look like it's coming out much straighter. So I wouldn't have it forward of my body, if that's what you're meaning, which I don't think you are. I certainly wouldn't have it straight between my legs. I'm going to have the club opposite the inside of my left leg. May it be a driver or an iron, the ball position slightly changes for me, and that's where I tend to get my students. So try and get your hands opposite the inside of your left leg. Don't worry about where the club is pointing so much, and that will get you in a good setup position to hit some better shots. So if you like what's going on here, don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Also thumbs up the video, post comments. Love to hear what you guys got to say. Let's keep it social. The more we talk, the more we share, the easier this game will get for everybody. So if you want to find me on Facebook here, you can find me on Facebook. If you want to tweet me, find me on Twitter here as well. Just follow the links, all in the description. Come and join the show. Get active, get involved, get playing some better golf. Thanks for watching.